Brilliant.
Can I say one thing
Yep.
that you were talking about earlier?
Yep.
FE in Australia.
Yep. Go for it.
Now, obviously, again, this is something that some of the drivers, particularly obviously Nick and Mitch, would love to see. Not Australia. Spoke to Formula E CEO Jeff Dodds, did a brilliant roundtable during the weekend. Australia it is a bit difficult because obviously keeping carbon emissions down. You've got to look at how we get everything there. However, for those who obviously keep our Formula E news,
okay.
Dodds met in Paris last week the Prime Minister of Thailand. Now, Thailand are interested in hosting Formula E. Some Formula E staff are actually going to investigate an area in Thailand this week.
Nice. Thailand, I think, have been interested for a while. This isn't the first time I've heard of Thailand.
There's more.
Go on.
So, we may potentially be getting another race in Southeast Asia because Malaysia have been in talks about hosting a race.
I've heard about that as well.
Those talks were happening before Thailand, and Malaysia have come out in their press. Basically, they're concerned that they're going to lose out on a Southeast Asia race to Thailand. I asked Jeff, would Malaysia miss out to Thailand, or could we have both? He sees no reason why not. He sees no reason why we can't have two races. So it's not, nothing's done and certain. There needs to be investigations if it's possible. But we could be having FE in Thailand and Malaysia.
And this was the same.
Was banging.
Yeah, this was the same with Auckland, right? When I was speaking to Mitch Evans, he was like, basically, the same situation happened, right? There was that investigation around Auckland, where people went out and had a look and so forth. But then, what you said with the America's Cup and so forth, and other things that were going on, they just couldn't squeeze it in or couldn't find a time to fit it in that was appropriate, and it went by the wayside. So obviously, like, we're talking about this now, we're not saying that Thailand and Malaysia are going to happen, but
no, at the moment it's just talks. But obviously the countries have expressed an interest. They want it, but obviously it depends. I've seen in the comments. From what I understand, it won't be in Bangkok. They're going to investigate. And anybody who's from Thailand,
hang on.
I should know this because I quite literally wrote about it.
I had a look about it when you did the article. I had a look.
Anyway, I struggle enough with English.
I struggle enough with English. I think we all struggle enough with English.
Chiang Mai.
There you go. Yeah, so that's the area they're going to investigate.
It's a shame it's not Bangkok in a way.
Sort of northwest Thailand.
Yes, it's northwestern Thailand. But you know what? Regardless, it's a city.
Still Thailand,
I will say though, the whole we can't go to Australia because of thing. I mean, we are the series that is going to jump from Europe to
China,
Portland, back to Europe for the UK round in London.
The big difference, though, with that is that you look at.
If we're in Malaysia or Jakarta, it's not far.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is you look at, for example, Portland to London. There's a 5-week gap because obviously for those who potentially don't know Formula E,
there's a 3-week gap. I think there might be a 5-week gap beforehand to Shanghai.
Sorry, China Portland's 5-week gap. Obviously, for those who aren't aware, Formula E they use a boat.
Yes, they do.
To get the stuff around, and obviously to get that then to Australia, that's what will then cause a problem because you then got to look into the calendar. That's going to require a lot of time to get stuff there, to get stuff off the boat, and then to get stuff to the next place. So if we were to say have a race in either Australia or New Zealand, the problem is that it would then cause, you'd have to have a lengthy break.
Do it just before Christmas. Do it just before Christmas. You got a 5-week break sorted.
The problem is, right, if you go back to season 1, season 2, season 3 of Formula E, and when they wanted this calendar ethos where, we're not gonna fly from what we're doing right now, right, UK back to China, then US and England and so forth, and you're hopping here, there, and everywhere. Which, if you're talking about, I know there's a big week gap between it, but still, that's still a big move from China to Portland and to the UK. That's still a big move. So I feel like if you put, let's say, all right, we've got a Chinese race, well, start the season in Australia. I know you've got deals that start in Diriyah, but even if you start in Diriyah, right, or Mexico, wherever they want to start. You can even start in Mexico and travel it around the Pacific Ocean. It's a long journey, but it will still get to Australia and then go up to China, and you can actually start having a bit more of an efficient calendar. And I think that's part of Formula E's ethos, which they've gone away from. And if I get a chance to speak to maybe Jeff Dodds in the future, that could be a question that we put to him, because whether we get to do that in a race or so forth, because it is interesting the way that the calendar is currently.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm a massive fan of Jeff. I think he's a brilliant CEO. I think he's wanting to get Formula E to more countries. He's meeting with several prime ministers and presidents, and he wants to get FE to places where there's never been racing.
He's very much an open book as well. I think
he's the man who will get it done.
Yeah. He's very much an open book, as in, like,
he's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy.
You could, because I mean, we haven't chatted to him, but obviously you have, Nick. But you could probably just wander up to him and you'd have a little chat. He is someone that you just go for a pint with in a pub.
Well, I think I was chatting to him on the grid. He's
lovely jubbly.
He's a really good guy.
Now, as I said, looking forward to hopefully once we get to maybe Monaco or Berlin, maybe having that chat to him, put those questions, because I think Formula E needs a refresh, right? I know we've got some cities, and I know there's Los Angeles potentially coming as well for next season, but I do think the calendar needs a bit of a refresh. I think we need to obviously keep the core cities, your Berlins, your Londons, and so forth. But in terms of getting some fresh cities into the calendar, I do think that is important, especially because we've got a lot of double headers. And if you're going to keep those lot of double headers, then you can pile up the calendar in other places.